I would like to call today's regular board meeting on Friday, May 9th, 2025 to order. First, I need to begin with an announcement that today the Land Bank met immediately prior to this meeting for an executive conference. The topic of the meeting was real property transactions. With that, can we begin with roll call?
Oops, sorry, Chair. I'm having some reason there we go. All right. This is Sally Stadelman, Acting Executive Director of the Pittsburgh Land Bank, calling roll. Councilman Bobby Wilson, Councilman Daniel Lavelle.
Here.
Councilman Kahari Mosley.
Here.
Director Wanda Wilson.
Here.
Director Jennifer Cash Wade. Oh, and she is running late, so she should be rejoining us shortly. Director Kirk Berkeley.
Yes.
Director Steve Mazza.
Here.
Director Tamara Dudikovic. And Director Tammy Thompson.
Here.
All right. We have quorum. Back to you, Chair.
Thank you very much. Next up will be public comment. For all those who are going to provide public comment, please use the right hand function in the bottom menu. Issue with to speak during public comment. As a reminder, public comment is taken at the beginning and a second time at the end of the meeting. To begin, state your name, neighborhood, and/or organization affiliation. You will have 3 minutes to speak.
I see Michael Yoder. So I'm seeing Michael Yoder's hand up. We can allow him to unmute himself.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for the opportunity to comment. I'm a next door neighbor of 5001 Broad Street in Garfield. And so this one, I'm so happy that the Land Bank is interested in this, moving this property. It's right next door to us. This abandoned house has been an eyesore, a problem, a liability for our entire block for a very long time. The city has owned it and held on to it, let it deteriorate. And I'm so happy for this turnaround that the Land Bank wants to acquire it and make something productive happen with it. I fully support the plan to get this house into the hands of an owner-occupant or a responsible community group developer that would take our liability here and turn it into an asset for the neighborhood. Just like actually across the street from this property where the Land Bank is working with City of Bridges Land Trust to build new affordable housing. I can't wait to welcome new neighbors into 5001 Broad Street. I thank the Land Bank for taking initiative on getting this house and this property back on the tax rolls, supporting our community and services, getting the property cared for. It's really a win all around. Thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any other speakers? Just put your hand up if you're interested in making public comment. Oh, yes, I do see Patricia.
Patricia, would you like to make public comment? Trouble getting off mute.
Mute. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. My name is Patricia Meta, and I have a property 1101 Woods Run Avenue. That would be like the Brighton Heights area. It's been abandoned since 2006. I don't want it anymore, and I feel that another company or another person with a bigger family can deal with it. And I would like to see it thrive more than just sitting there rotting.
Right. Thank you, Patricia. I see Deanna Davis, who has their hand up. If you want to go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hi. Good afternoon. Oh, fuck. I'm sorry
afternoon.
about that. Good afternoon. My name is Deanna Davis. I'm a local realtor and proudly serve as the vice chairman of the Larbor Consensus Group. Today marks a pivotal moment in the life of our community and our organization. I need to pull over. I'm sorry. Thank you for holding on. The acquisition of these parcels in the heart of Larbor represents an opportunity for the LCG will now be able to be a direct contributor to advancing the vision in our community put forward in May of 2023, a planned center of dignity, equity, and homeownership. These parcels will
Deanna, I think you just cut out here. We can't hear you right now. I'm still seeing
in the
you.
city council for their support. Together we are building. Together we're building the future Lormer deserves, and we hope to have your collective support. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm sorry, can we ask Deanna to read that again? We didn't hear any of that.
Yeah, Deanna, would you mind repeating? I think it was probably like the last maybe minute of your testimony that was really choppy and cut out.
Okay, so you want me to start all over?
That'd probably
Yes,
be
yes.
helpful. Yeah.
Okay. Give me a second, please. Good afternoon. My name is Deanna Davis. I'm a local realtor and proudly serves as the vice chair of the Lormer Consensus Group. Today marks a pivotal moment in the life of our community and our organization. The acquisition of these parcels in the heart of Lormer represents an opportunity. The LCG will now be able to be a direct contributor to advancing the vision of our community put forward in May of 2023. A plan centered on dignity, equity, and homeownership. These parcels will serve as a foundation for new homes that reflect the economic diversity of our neighborhood, affordable, workforce, and market rate homes. Built with and for the people of Lormer, we are committed to partnering with a developer who shares our values and our honors and our voice. We extend our sincere thanks to the Land Bank Board, the City of Pittsburgh, Mayor Gagne, and the City Council for their support. Together, we are building the future Lormer deserves. We hope to have your collective support. Did everybody hear me now?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else for the public comment period? All right, not seeing any other hands come up, and I'm going to turn it back to the chair.
Thank you
Or
very
vice chair.
much. Our next item will be the chairman's report, which we have one action, which is the approval of the April 2025 board meeting minutes. And may I have a motion to approve the April 2025 board meeting?
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye. Any
Aye.
opposed? Minutes have been
Aye.
approved. Thank you. Next is our treasurer's report, of which we'll have two actions. And I believe I'll turn this over to Ms. Wilson.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Yeah, we have our April financials for review with the board today. So we have our activity through April in the income statement here. I don't really have anything to highlight except that we are up to date with payroll being included and a lot of the adjustments that that we've finalized through the audit. All of that's been done. So these are up to date, so I'm happy to report that. Here's the balance sheet, which shows the cash in the bank and total liabilities and equity of $1.1 million. Then I think next we have some expenses, a few miscellaneous expenses before us today is shown on the screen. And as treasurer, I will make the motion to accept the April 2025 financial report and approve the April 2025 monthly expenditures.
Second.
Second, all those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Both the April 2025 financial report and the monthly expenditures have been approved. Our next agenda item is staff updates. I'll turn that over to Sally.
Thanks, Chair. And before we proceed, I just wanted to ask City Channel quickly. Bill, our board member, Jennifer Cash-Wade, is having trouble joining the Zoom. Do you see her in the waiting room?
No,
Bill,
I don't see her in the waiting room.
sorry, was that yes or no?
No.
No, okay. And so I'm just gonna, Josh, could you send her the link? Yeah, thank you. Okay. All right, apologies for that interruption. First, we'll be starting with our typical monthly update. We completed an additional sale last month, so that brings the total number of properties sold from the Pittsburgh Land Bank to 31. We have an additional 36 properties that we are actively working on closing. You can see those here. It's been approved by the board, acquired mostly from the city. We've cleared title on the majority. And so those are making their way through a sale. Here are the last 4 from last month's agenda. We transferred out of the URA's inventory. And here are properties that have recently arrived in the inventory, and we are working on clearing the title. Main function of the Pittsburgh Land Bank. Okay, and then we've got an additional, these are the next 10 properties that we expect to be transferring eminently out of the city's inventory. And then finally, we have 8 open objection periods on property that is in, the majority of this is in the land bank's inventory. We're working on clearing title. A handful are URA parcels. So as a reminder for the public, there's a sign placed on the property itself. There's a QR code that can be used to access our website. If anyone would like to file an objection, file a support of the project, or simply ask us a question about the proposed sale, they can reach us at the number on the screen here, 255-6566, or visit our website at pghlandbank.org and select the big green button on our landing page, and that'll take you to the objection form where you can file that support objection or ask a question. And sorry, and I want to mention that we do have one, if we receive 15 or more signatures, that does trigger a community meeting where the land bank hosts a meeting in that community to share more information and collect feedback on the project. So we do have one of those scheduled for May 19th at 6 p.m. At the Valley View Church on North Aiken. Next up, we've got our pilot residential rehab program. We have 3 properties currently listed for sale. We received an application about 10 minutes before the board meeting started, actually, on 1611 Antrim. So we'll be talking about that with the board in the minutes. I wanted to take a moment to highlight a recently published article in the Post-Gazette that really dovetailed very nicely with this new land bank program, talking about the benefits of home buyers using renovation loans, also known as mortgage rehab products, to be able to access a property that needs some improvement, and to make it a little more affordable for that buyer. And again, as a reminder, buyer requirements, currently we're looking for owner occupants, future owner occupants that will be committed to living in the property for 5 years. And they'll need to pass a qualified buyer check and provide a rehab plan, proof of financing, and a selected contractor. Okay, and finally, just another announcement that our position for an administrative coordinator is still posted. Interviews are ongoing, and we're encourage anyone to apply and are looking forward to filling that position. All right, and that's back to you, Chair.
Thank you very much. That'll move us to agenda item 6, which is our action items, of which we have 6. First being A.
Read that into our
Oh,
resolution
sorry.
into the
Want me to
record.
ask- Yes, please.
You're ready. Okay. Authorization to amend Resolution 81 of 2024, which authorized the Pittsburgh Land Bank to acquire Block 50G, lots 60, 62, and 63, and Block 50K, lots 172 and 173 in the 10th Ward from the Urban Redevelopment Authority of Pittsburgh for $500 plus parcel costs using ARPA funds, and authorization to convey the same properties to the City of Pittsburgh Community Land Trust to include Block 50G, lot 61, which was created by subdivision of Block 50G, lot 60.
I need a motion to approve.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second. Is there a discussion?
Just a brief overview for the board. So the board approved the sale of these parcels to the City of Bridges Community Land Trust for a new construction affordable housing project last summer. We were working on closing on these parcels. These were one of 5 approved applications where the land bank the board approved the sale of the parcels. The entity then applied for federal home loan bank dollars, were awarded those dollars, and then we've begun working on acquisition and closings after that grant award. So this one's just coming back to the board because in order to move that development project forward, City of Bridges needed to subdivide one of the parcels, and we need that to be included in the record to provide the closing company so we can close. Any questions? Okay.
Seeing no questions, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed?
Aye.
Resolution number 26 has been approved. Next, we'll move on to city-owned properties, beginning with resolution number 27, which is the acquisition and sale of 0 Auburn Street in Larimer.
Authorization for the Pittsburgh Land Bank to acquire Block 125A, Lot 277, also known as 0 Auburn Street in the 12th Ward from the City of Pittsburgh using ARPA funds, and authorization to convey the same properties to Benjamin Klein at a cost not to exceed $84,780.
Need a motion to approve?
Motion.
Need a second. Thank you. Discussion?
Okay, some brief background for the board. So this is a private property owner. They own the structure to the right of this parcel. That's 175A 280. And they've been and so they would like to acquire the parcel next door to construct a flex tech space. Can I answer any questions from the board on this project? On this proposal?
Just out of curiosity, flex tech space that would be open for various businesses or specific to the individual?
Yes, I think they are saying they're calling it that because they haven't selected a tenant.
Got you.
So, and if the board in the application on the shared drive, you can see they did submit architectural drawings and their full budget to construct the building, and also have met with their council member and the community organization who we're both supportive of the sale.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
Aye.
Resolution 27 has been approved. That takes us to resolution number 28, which is the acquisition and sale of 5001 Broad Street in Garfield.
Authorization for the Pittsburgh Land Bank to acquire Block 50K, Lot 94, also known as 5001 Broad Street in the 10th Ward from the city of Pittsburgh, and to prepare the structure for sale, including quieting the title, cleaning out the structure, and sealing the building envelope at a cost not to exceed $60,000 using ARPA funds.
Need a motion to approve?
Motion.
Second.
Discussion?
Some brief background for the board. The Pittsburgh Land Bank staff walked through this property with Bloomfield Garfield Corporation. We actually were alerted to this parcel by the neighbor who we heard speak at during public comment today, and discussed this with BGC as an acquisition, so we can make sure this property moves forward and is repurposed before it deteriorates to the point where it might end up on the demolition list.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed?
Aye.
Resolution number 28 has been approved. That moves us to resolution 29, which is the acquisition and sale of parcels on Meadow Street, Lowell Street, and Stubner Way.
Sounds right to me. Authorization for the Pittsburgh Land Bank to acquire Block 124N, lots 282, 283, 288, 290, 291, 292, and 293, Block 124P, Lot 96, and Block 125B, lots 128, 129, 130, 131, 132, and 134, located on Meadow Street, Lowell Street, and Stobner Way in the 12th Ward from the city of Pittsburgh using ARPA funds, and authorization to convey the same properties to the Larmer Consensus Group at a cost not to exceed $26,671.
Need a motion to approve?
So moved.
Any discussion? I just want to say, we did discuss this in executive session, so I just want to put it on the record, and correct me if I'm wrong, Sally, or any board member, that we will absolutely not transact on this until we know that the funding is actually in place for them to proceed with these properties, correct?
Funding plan.
Funding plan.
Yes.
Okay.
That is correct.
Agreed.
Any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? Resolution that was 29 has been approved. That takes us to resolution 30 of 2025, which is the acquisition and sale of 0 Wiley Avenue in the Hill District.
Authorization for the Pittsburgh Land Bank to acquire Block 10K, Lot 54, also known as 0 Wiley Avenue in the 5th Ward from the city of Pittsburgh, using ARPA funds, and authorization to convey the same property to Amani Christian Community Development Corporation at an estimated cost of $7,500.
Need a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Thank you, Sally, for moving this forward. Reverend Walls has been calling me about this.
Yeah, you're welcome. And we expect more property to be on our agenda soon, to be transferred to Amani. This one in particular is there is a project moving forward known as African Queens. It is a project Amani is managing that will include 12 affordable housing units and 1,700 square feet of commercial space. They have a kind of a temporary parking solution, but they are looking to create some additional parking spaces. And so this was a lot that they identified. As you can see, people seem to already be using it as parking, perhaps surely not with the correct zoning approval.
Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed?
Aye.
Resolution number 30 has been approved. That takes us to agenda item C, which is Pittsburgh Land Bank owned property. We have one resolution, which is number 6, which is resolution number 31, excuse me, which is the sale of 1221 High Street and Zero Spring Garden in the Spring Garden neighborhood.
Authorization for the Pittsburgh Land Bank to convey Block 24C, Lot 165, also known as 1221 High Street, and Block 24C, Lot 167, on Spring Garden Avenue to Yulia Hladenko at a cost not to exceed $20,000.
Need a motion to approve.
Motion.
Seconded. Any discussion? This is the owner occupant.
Yes, yes. So I mean, I'm always excited about moving vacant property, vacant abandoned property back onto the tax rolls. But this is a very exciting sale for the Pittsburgh Land Bank because this is our first sale of a property out of our pilot residential rehab program. So the proposal is we'll be selling to an individual who has demonstrated they have the financial capacity and ability to rehab this property in order to make it their home.
Very exciting. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Any
Aye.
opposed? Resolution number 31 has been approved. That exhausts our agenda. We will return to public comments.
And so Chair, and I apologies to put board members on the spot here, but we do have a potential walk-on board approval. Very shortly before the board meeting began, I did receive an application for a residential rehab application from an individual who's interested in purchasing 1611 Antrim Street. We don't have to approve it today, but if we do, it would lend us additional flexibility to move forward on the sale with this individual. They'll still need to provide a fleshed out completed rehab plan, proof of financing, and have a contractor selected before we would close. But it would give us the ability to really be able to confirm with this buyer that once they meet those expectations, we will be ready to close. How does the board feel about? Are we open to? I'll read the authorization into the record and approve it, or would we prefer to wait until next month? You know, because it's a new program, I think buyers. And especially because we want to match what it looks like to buy a property on the private market as much as possible. I think it's pretty typical to try and enter that purchase and sales agreement as quickly as possible. And that would allow us to do that if we approve it today.
And this would be this is a Pittsburgh Land Bank owned property,
Yes,
correct?
we own the property. It's our structure that has been on the market the longest.
So
yeah,
it would be based upon what I'm hearing, and we did talk about this in executive session, it'd be my recommendation to walk on resolution number 32.
yes.
And if you could read the title.
That is correct. Okay. And oh, good. All right. You know what? I have this right here. Okay. So it would be authorization for the Pittsburgh Land Bank to convey block 75L lot 121, also known as 1611 Antrim Street, to Christian Keller at a cost not to exceed $25,000. Go back to the section. And we need the motion to.
Is there a motion to approve?
So moved. Excuse me.
With discussion, and this would also be owner occupied, correct?
Yes, yes. So there will be a 5-year deed restriction. And again, we will need a rehab plan, proof of financing, and a selected contractor before we would close on
the property.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. So, but just like a typical mortgage rehab, you make the offer, it's accepted, and then you're going to go through the process with your bank of finalizing that rehab plan.
Where is Antrim Street?
This is in Brighton Heights,
Oh, okay,
but kind of on the Marshall Shadeland side of Brighton Heights, right off of California Avenue.
okay. Any further discussion? Seeing
And
none,
Mike,
Okay, yes.
Ms. Cashway?
I'm sorry, I was just gonna say, this is the one that the young lady just backed out of, one of the ones. Is that correct, or is this a different?
That is correct.
Okay,
Yes.
thank
That
you.
is-
Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So resolution number 32 has been approved. And I believe that now exhausts our agenda. Okay,
Yes, thank you.
so we'll go back to public comment. Is there anyone who would wish to provide public comment? Please raise your hand at this time.
I am not seeing any hands raised right now. Or participants. Yeah, I'm not seeing any hands up.
Okay, with that, I'll note that our next board meeting will be June 13th at 1 o'clock. And now we need a motion to adjourn. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Or adjourn. Thank you,
Aye.
everyone.